Okay, so the good thing here with 181 is that 181 looks like 182. So when we do 181, you can apply that to 182. So what do we have here? Currently, market cost £250 per unit. It says that this question wants us to talk about the future. So it says lower quality material will need to be used and in the future, and this will decrease material costs by 15%. So I'm just literally going to decrease this by 15%, which means I'm going to be needing 85% of that. And so I'm going to need 0.85 times 250, which means that my material costs going forward will be £212.50p. So I'll just keep that. I think it's important just to keep all these things. I'll just keep material 212.50. Then it says here, current fixed cost production of 2.5. Cost costing measures are expected to save fixed cost of 300,000, and so therefore fixed production costs will fall from 2.5 by 300,000 and will fall down to 2,200, 2.2 million, right? That's kind of the future as well. Okay, selling prices is expected to decrease from 100,000 to 900, so selling price will be 900. So you can see all these changes. The decreased selling price is expected to have no effect on sales volume, which are currently at 20,000 units. So this is the expectation. It's kind of like budgeted amount. So I haven't seen it. If we have any margin of safety questions, we'll know what to do. So budgeted volume will stay the same. So ordinarily we might expect it to push up a little, but hey, it's fine. So labor hours expected to be 600,000 hours for the year, and will be paid for each year £8 an hour. So we're not having any change in unit volume. So this will stay as it is. Yeah, and all of the costs remain the same. So let's jump in. So revenue again here, 20,000 units. Yes, 20,000 units. Price 900. So 900 times 9 times 2 is 18. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 zeros. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So 18 million in effect. Materials were 212.50. 212.50 times 20,000. I'm not doing that in my head. 212.50 times 20,000 is 4.25 million. And labor, 6,000 hours for the year, times 8, that's 48. 8 times 6 is 48. And then you have 5 zeros. So that's 4.8 million. And then you have fixed costs. Fixed costs sitting at, given to us, that will fall to 2.5 million, falling by 300, falling to 2. Here you are, 2.2. And so what you have, of course, is this situation where we can find the total profit. And finding that, we find the total profit to be 18 million minus 4.25 million minus 4.8 million minus 2.2 million. And that's 6.75 million. Or, yeah. Okay, great. And there you have, that's your total profit. And there we are. So let's just see what else they want. It says here the marketing department is, so I have fixed costs. I can see my fixed costs here of 2 may not reach the projected, as for the break-even volume. The marketing department is concerned that the volume of sales may not reach the projected units. They have asked for, this is calculated total profits for the second year. So I'm going to assume that they're talking about this year, because this says second year very clearly. And this says that currently we are concerned that the volume of sales may not reach the projected units. And we want the break-even volume for the year. And I can always check, but again, like I say, let's just do it based on the what we have. I mean, it's just language. I don't know if they mean the calculation is not the tricky bit, because if it's for this year they're talking about, well, the fixed costs are 2.5 million. The current contribution as we are right now is it's just language. They just have to be clearer. Is 100,000 minus 250, right? That's the current contribution. 100,000. Sorry, 1,000 minus 250. So current contribution is 750. So currently break-even sales are 2.5 million divided by 750, which technically is 3,334 units. Let me just get that right. 2.5 divided by 750. Yeah, you have 3,334 units, 3,334 units. That's the plan. But let's check the answers. I just want to be sure that they're not talking about this year, because if they're talking about this year, then it's just that the fixed costs are 2.2 million. Contribution, of course, is the 900 minus the 212. It just is, what year are you talking about? But I'm doing it openly so you can see that I'm just sort of trying to be sure. And that would have been 687.5. And then, of course, your break even would literally have been the difference. I'm sorry, divide those two things together, divided by 687.5, which would have given you 3,200. This is a nicer number. I mean, if that's what they meant, may not reach the projected units. I suspect it is the second year. I suspect it is. I'm just not quite understand the way that was framed. Let's see the answers and see what they're talking about. Right. Oh, so let's just walk through what we were doing. So we got that, of course. So the fixed costs, of course. So they're talking about the fixed costs for the second year, right? So that's what it seems they're looking at. The fixed costs are 2.2. Okay, that's fine. And the contribution per unit. The contribution per unit. This is the labor. I forgot the labor cost. I won't record this video again. I think it's just easy to miss some of these things out. The labor costs, I completely omitted that one, but they were talking about the second year. And so the labor costs, of course, is variable, of course. So you have this full thing, don't you? You have the material and labor in terms of us working out your contribution. So let me just see how they've arrived here. 447.5. I suppose if you say 4,800 divided by, but nothing changed there, by 20, by 20, 480, 4,800 divided by 20, 240, and 240. Right, I'm struggling to see how they've got this, because in my mind, you see, this is your labor, 4,800. Really, your contribution per unit is us finding what the labor cost is per unit. So let's quickly see if we can find the labor cost per unit. And so you have here labor of 4.8 million, which we agree. Just want to see there's nothing we're missing. Yeah, you have labor of 480,000. Sorry, 4.8 million. 4.8 million. We agreed that over 20,000 units. There's no change in the units. The units are 20,000 units. Yes. So 480,000 divided by 20,000 units is £240. So really my variable costs are really this 212.50 plus 240. There is no change in my labor. I'm not recording another video. It's best I do it here just to see what the difference is, what that difference is. We were right about that. The contribution per unit, of course, is Oh, of course, 900 minus, forgive me, of course, yes, we're correct, forgive me. They're just, oh, the layouts, it's shocking. So we have just found this 212 plus 212 plus 240, of course, is 212, 212.5 plus 240 is 452.2. Yes, so 212 plus, remember I said divide this by the 20,000 units, and you have 240. So add these two together, and you have 452, 452.50, 452.50. Subtract this from 900, and you have 447. So we are on the right track. 447 is the contribution per unit. So this is, I think, the easiest way to have done it. Just divide that by 20,000 units. You have 240 cost of each unit, and then you're done, literally. So that's your contribution per unit. And the question is asking, what is the break even? So that's 2.2 million divided by that, and you have 4917. Apologies for that long-winded nature. I just need to be clear. Your exam is always clearer as to, do they want it? Was it for the first year or was it for the second year? But in principle, we understand what's going on. So this should help you apply your answers to Kiel. Okay.